Hello, everyone, and welcome again to the Unfound Podcast channel on YouTube. I am Unfound's host, Ed Densel. As with the last map analysis video, I hope you will bear with me. I am not in Florida. I did not bring my tripod with me, so I have to hold my phone/camera in my hand as I do this video for you. So if it's a little shaky, please forgive the shakiness. Before I get started, I hope you will consider becoming a subscriber to this Unfound Podcast channel. Please like this video and please hit that little bell button so that when we upload videos such as this one, you will be alerted immediately. As the title suggests, this will be a map analysis for the disappearance of Andrea Knabel, who disappeared from Louisville, Kentucky, just a couple years ago in 2019. This episode came out on February 4th of 2022. What you are looking at here is the route that Andrea would have taken in walking back to what we would call her mother's house, where her sister Sarah and Sarah's fiance were staying. What you see down here, this 4000 Fincastle Road, is approximately the area where Andrea was, where she was at her sister Erin's. And if you remember, what happened that night is that Andrea was down here with Erin. Erin drove her over to this is just a general location for both. This Autobahn Park area over here to the west, to the left side of the screen. And then Erin drove home back over here. And then I don't know if we actually spoke about how many minutes or whatever it was, but then not long after that, Andrea walked the whole way back. That is when Andrea talked about how she would not let Andrea in the house due to the way Andrea was acting. And Andrea left, and then what happened was that Andrea's phone then pinged over back in this Autobahn Park area. And if you'll remember, during the interview, Andrea's father, Michael, talked about how this Audubon Park neighborhood is somewhat upper middle class, if not upper class location. So you'll see here, and this is something that I did not even realize till I put the addresses into Google Maps. And what you're looking at, if you don't know, when you see blue lines or blue dots like that, that means that is a walking route. Whereas if I were to change this over to car, you will see that this changed into a solid blue line. But when I go back to walking, which is what Andrea would have been doing, you'll see that it changes to that. And I still want to zoom out just a little bit. Now, the first thing that I notice here is that even though we know where these two locations are, down here and over here, they're really not far away. But you can see from what Google says is that Andrea would have had to have gone well out of her way to go from one location to the other. Presumably, because this area, of course, you see this golf course right here. I guess that the golf course owns the area way out here to this road, to actually, what's it called, Poplar Level Road. And I guess in Google's opinion, it would be trespassing for someone to walk from here right across the golf course over to Audubon Park. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm going to guess there's a fence or something, but I guess if somebody wanted to do it, especially at night, that person could probably do it. But I think for purposes of analyzing this, we must just take for granted that Andrea walked the way it is suggested here. So that's a little bit of a walk. It's 1.5 miles. It's 29 minutes. But like I said, if it's just a direct shot, maybe if you've looked at these addresses in the past without putting the actual route in, you might think, oh, she just walked from there to there. You know, she went across the golf course, no big deal. I think looking at this map, we should not take for granted that she did that. I think what is more likely is that she had to walk the long way around. And so she would have had to have walked the long way around both ways, going from after she got dropped off by Aaron over here to then walk the whole way back over here. And then after Aaron said she couldn't come inside, for her then to go the whole way back to this Audubon Park area. And I remind you that this red dot over here is only an approximation. It very well may be that this house where Sarah and Ethan were staying, and it was the mother's house, their mother's house, could be in this anywhere in this area over here. This is all known over here as being Audubon Park. So there's that. I guess the next thing we need to look at is the surrounding area. And as was stated in the episode, this is a neighborhood. There aren't any areas that you really can point out right off that show if she was going from here to here and she got over here, that the pings say she got over to this area. If she decided to walk off, where exactly would she have gone? Now we have to remember this would have been 3-something in the morning, 4-something in the morning, 5-something in the morning. So the odds of her being seen are very low. But what it could mean is she could easily have walked out of this Audubon Park area without being seen at all, if you want to entertain the idea that she walked off. There's also, of course, the idea that she got picked up. I think that there's reason to believe that could have happened, given that she did try to phone a couple people or text a couple people asking for a ride, and those people say no, they did not pick Andrea up that night or that early morning. The only area that we see that maybe lends itself, if she was feeling distraught, if she was felt like causing herself harm, is you see this area over here, this Louisville Nature Center. Maybe we have some woods over here, but that is about it. You'll see that there are no bodies of water, no lakes or rivers that maybe we talk so much about in these disappearances. Yes, there is. We have this river up here. It's actually the Ohio River, but you got to say that's quite a ways away from that location, from here up to there. Not impossible to walk, surely possible to walk if she was feeling distraught. But we have to then think of it in terms of, if she was thinking about this, would it automatically occur to her, well, I got to walk all these miles and I have to walk through downtown Louisville to get to the Ohio River? I don't know if that seems very logical or rational. I would not put very high odds on that. But it's there. It's just not very close. If it was a lot closer, I think I might be more open to that possibility. So we also have to think that if something, once again, happened to her of no foul play nature, she did something to herself, we have to believe that if she had ended up on this golf course, for example, I think after over 2 years, somebody would have discovered something. But I think looking at this, I think it does lend itself more to the idea that she was picked up, given that if she walked off, where did she go? Why wasn't she found? Now, we also might be open to the idea that she did start walking somewhere, anywhere, and she finally did reach somebody, and that person picked her up. The problem is that all the pinging was in this area, and then the phone went off, and then it went on for like a split second at about 6:30 in the morning, although you heard that both Aaron and Michael said that there's some new information that they're looking at that may add to that picture. So it very well may be it's the Audubon Park neighborhood around the house, but that doesn't mean she couldn't have been walking. She could have still been pinging off the same tower, even though she was actually moving at the same time. So those are the locations. Once again, these are general locations. Down here is approximately where Aaron lived at the time, and over here approximately where the house where Andrea's phone last pinged in this area. So that's some map analysis. I hope you found it helpful for the episode that came out on February 4th, 2022. Once again, please give this video a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks.